here. I hope you are doing well today. Um, I am I am going to talk a little bit about my feelings regarding the 1.5 update and all of the uh, issues that have been happening uh, over the last week. I've taken a chance to really focus on it, to really think about it. Um, because there is a lot. There is there is quite a lot. And I'm not going to talk about everything here. I'm going to talk about the things that have affected me personally. I know so much has affected the community, but just the things that have stood out to me the most as the biggest issues I'm having. That's what we're going to call it. The biggest issues that I am personally having with the game because there are so many, from the multiple bugs to the monetization and such and so on, everything. Um, but some of them I can't quite speak for because in some issues I got lucky, especially with the gotcha this go round. Um, so so yeah, I want so we're gonna start this off first. And I'm sorry for any stumbling. Again, I'm kind of doing this with no script, a little off the cuff. But I want to start with saying I love Infinity Nikki. Infinity Nikki is a game that honestly has gotten me back into gaming. It got me not only back into gaming, but it got me into streaming because I wanted to share the love of this game with others. That was simply it. It was the first game I started with, and it's built from there. A lot of my community has built through Infinity Nikki, and not just with the others in the Infinity Nikki community, but introducing this game to people who have never heard of Infinity Nikki, have never heard of Shining Nikki, have never heard of Love Nikki. I've been able to just bring that game to people who are so new. And I've loved that. I've loved the storyline. I've loved the graphics, the nuance. Just going back to the storyline. The storyline is my favorite part. This whole time I have fallen in love with the storyline and the nuances there within, and the writers, I just want to say, even up to the current 1.5 bubble season storyline, I have been in love with it because every time we get a new storyline, we get fresh lore about the world, and I love lore. Like anything that I can put together. It's quite like reading for me, just in a whole different fashion. So I do want to say I love this game, and that is why so much of this is just disheartening. It hurts. I feel the trust is broken. To put it the way a lot of people have put it, the trust is broken. And I'm not turning my back on Infold. I'm not turning my back on Infinity Nikki, but there are things need to happen for that trust to be built again. And a lot of people have said that. Um, and I agree with them, you know. And I'm a smaller content creator. I'm not one of the bigger Nikki creators, but I feel like all of our voices matter, and that's another reason for why I am just getting into this. So, my my biggest issue thus far um, is the retconning. As someone who loves the storyline, as someone who loves everything that is going on, I think the fact that they retconned the beginning as such that they did is the most foolish idea they could have come up with. I don't know whose idea that was on the development team. I'm not exactly pointing fingers. Um, I feel like it just could have been implemented far better. I understand that they wanted to get everyone into the co-op. They wanted to get everyone into the game the same way. But I think they could have objectively done it better. I don't know everything that goes into game development. I will never say that. I just know it's a hard job. It's not easy. And I know I had my video a couple weeks ago about the developers and how, they're trying their best and they're trying their hardest. And I still feel that way. That has not changed. Um, but this is not a stumble. This is not tripping. They fell flat on their face with this decision, in my opinion. Uh, and I'm not, I can't say how they can fix it. There are many ways people have spoken about fixing it, from bringing the original beginning back and, putting the Sea of Stars somewhere further in the storyline. I've seen people say, put it between the ending of the Wishful Erosa coma part of the storyline and the Silvergale aria. Well, I have seen others, and I lean more towards this one, say that, put it between us, the new players, getting the first, I think, 3 ability outfits, then have Nikki have a dream about the Sea of Stars and all of that. Have it be there, or like Mira level 10, somewhere in that level, so that you can still have the original opening, so that you can still have the original tutorial, which was so much better, and the storyline feels more filled in. Sure, Nikki's gonna have, like, I don't know, a dream or a vision, or, Nikki's all about weird time stuff happening. So maybe she falls asleep and she falls into this place that is the Sea of Stars. You know, I can't really say. Just if they were to figure out a way to put this back, put the retcon back, roll it back, I know as a player I would feel like they listened. And there's so much other things that they need to fix, but this one this one thing, and I pretty much think it's the one thing a lot of people are calling for. People are calling for everything from, fixing the monetization system, which I do agree with, to, getting the bugs, but the, the retconning is an honestly good place to start, in my opinion. And again, I'm not a developer. I don't know much about development. Um, But I can say, if you do want to hear more about that from a developer's side of things, I will be putting a link to a video by Moon Sugarcake down in the description. She talks about things from a game development point of view, and I feel like she brought a lot of interesting points that I hadn't even realized to that part of the discussion, especially with the retcon. So, I highly recommend her video. Now, moving on to my second thing, it is the monetization and the gotcha. The the sock debacle, as I am calling it. So many outfits they are stretching like this, and this isn't the first time Infold has done this. If you look at um Shining Nikki, if you look at Love Nikki, they have been adding to how many pieces outfits get so much for the monetization so that you feel like you have to spend that money to get those crystals or whatever currency it is. They've been doing it for a while. Um, and it's frustrating. And it's not even the first of their titles that they've done. It's not their only title, not first of. It's not their only title they're doing with this with. I am also a Love and Deep Space player, and since the big update where we got Caleb and the 4 banner that had the outfits and the hair for each love interest as separate like goals to reach on the gotcha like rewards pulls. So like you pull 5, you'll get a thing, you pull 10, you get a thing. And they've been messing around with that recently as well, to the point where it's greed. It is honest to goodness greed at this point. Um, and it's frustrating. You know, we are we're not in the best financial times. You know, not a lot of people have that money to be spending those kind of funds and budget on a gotcha game. And I feel like Infold has been very tone deaf about that. You know, they can hand out apologies and give us all sorts of diamonds in exchange, but it doesn't change the fact that they're still doing it. It doesn't change the fact that they were like, "Oh, we won't go above 11." You shouldn't have gone above 10 in the first place. 10 was a perfect number. 10 10 was good, guys. 10 was good. And you know, even 9 was good. But the big 5 stars and the pity system that they have, I got lucky once on one of my pulls for the Crimson Feather once, and I got 2 pieces in it. And that saved me from missing out. That was it. It was honestly the luck of the draw, and not everybody gets that luck. Not everybody The RNG is not that kind to everybody. I've had times when I struggle with the thing. Now, I personally like the RNG for the 4-star outfits more, where it's every 5 pulls. So you're getting that outfit. You know you are. And heck, if you're really set on saving your diamonds, and or you know you just want to spend a little bit, you know you're gonna get the recolor, and that's good. But in this case, with the Crimson Feathers, I have the main outfit. I have the first 2 recolors that we are able to have, and that's it. I know I'm not pulling for more, no matter how badly I want to. Like, I'm pretty sure I could get the next one, but no, I can't get the double outfit. That's what I can't get. That's what I'm thinking of. I can't get the double outfit. I know I won't have enough diamonds for that. I know I won't have enough resonant crystals. Like, it's not worth it. It is not worth it, no matter how long the banner is, because I haven't seen the 4 stars. What if I want them? Like, it's frustrating. It's really, really frustrating. I I am not a completely free to play player. I am a budget player. I have I'm the type of person who, you know, hoards their like Google Play points for as long as they can until they're like, okay, you really need to spend these. And then I spend it on Google money. And then I use that Google money to pay for the monthly pass for Infinity Nikki, and I pay for the monthly pass for Love and Deep Space. That is it. That is it, y'all. That's my gotcha spending, and that's it. I don't I don't do the other things. You know, and then like I am with everybody else on like the bathtub that they were like, "Oh, this is normally like $70 and we've discounted it for 80. But like, what are we going to do with a bathtub that we don't have any house to put it in? It's Infold, I need you to make it make sense. You could have given us literally anything else, but you were like, no, a bathtub. And I get it. I get it. The bathtub, the bubble season, the bath festival, like, I get it. But it was, nah, it wasn't the right choice. And then to introduce a top off outfit, just like you have in Shining Nikki, for people to spend money when you haven't done that before. And nah, I hated that as well. I hated seeing that. And the fact that the red dot won't go away for it, mm-mm. It's just so frustrating. There's all these frustrating little things that fill this game, and I'm so frustrated by it. And I just want Infold to do better. I want them to be better because Infinity Nikki could be a great game, and it's already a great game. But this lack of understanding for your players, it's frustrating, and I hate to see it. I watched Dish's video where she spoke about things, after being on the live stream and all of that scripted stuff, and she had a lot of great points as well, and a lot of the points I agree with, just like I agreed with the points in Moon Sugar Cake's video. And I'll put the Dish video down as well. But just Infold needs to do better. Paper Games needs to do better. That's all I really have. And I don't know if my video is going to be seen. I'm not a big streamer. There's, 100 people who watch me stream. There's less than 50 people who are following my YouTube channel at the moment, but I want them to see how many people are making videos like this. How many of their players are speaking out like this. And that is why I have been rambling here and talking about this. Because I want them to care. I need them to care. So often do developers and big executives and everything don't care. And I've seen what happens when communities turn against the game they love so much. I watched it happen with Destiny when they laid off so many of their wonderful development team right after one of their biggest, before and after one of their biggest uh drops. And I stepped away from that game and haven't been able to play it for an entire year, even though I paid like real dollars that have gone to waste because my friends stopped playing it. The people I cared about stopped playing it, and it made it no fun anymore. And that's what they're doing. They're taking away the fun of Infinity Nikki for the greed of the money and the whatever they're doing with the retconning. That was, again, I hate that decision. I'm so upset about it, but that is it, guys. That is where I'm at. And if you sat through this and let me ramble at you, thank you for listening. Thank you for being there for what's going on with this. And you know, if you want to follow me for more Infinity Nikki cozy game type of stuff, please subscribe. Please, give this video a like so it gets up there with all of the other Infinity Nikki videos so that hopefully Infold sees what's going on and how many of us are talking about it. And yeah. And, if you have any of your thoughts on it, please leave thoughts in the comments. Keep it civil. That's all I ask. But yeah, thank you again for listening, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.